What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Echoes of Elsewhere, the podcast where forgotten places find their voice. I'm your host, Courtney Autumn, and today's episode is a little extra special for me because it all started with some chalk on a wall, to be honest. A few months back, I was deep in the heart of what many in the urbex world know as the Doomsday Mansion, an abandoned home with serious bunker energy and apocalyptic vibes. While I was exploring the kitchen, I noticed a small chalkboard hanging on the wall, and scribbled on that chalkboard, almost like a secret left for fellow adventurers, was a message that said, "Follow Cloverfrog on YouTube." So naturally, I had to look up Cloverfrog and was instantly hooked on this YouTube channel. It's just really beautifully shot, honest, and full of that authentic urban exploration spirit that we all love. So fast forward a few months, I posted the photo of that chalkboard as a sort of urbex PSA, asking my followers if anyone could help me get in touch with Cloverfrog because I was having a hard time tracking Cloverfrog down. And anyway, someone did. Someone came through. I still don't know who exactly connected us. Mystery internet angel, if you're listening, thank you. But that connection led to something even cooler than I expected. And I quickly found out that Cloverfrog isn't just one person, but an urbex couple. So today I'm beyond excited to check off a podcast bucket list item, which is chatting with a rad exploration duo whose chemistry is just as sweet as their content. We talk about their origin story, their favorite explorers, and how they balance both the fears, the risks, the challenges, and all of the things that go along. Not just being urbexers, but being a couple in this community and in this hobby. Make sure you check them out on YouTube at Cloverfrog and on Instagram at Cloverfrog_. As always, they will be linked in the description, but you will see exactly why I've been a fan since that chalkboard moment. So let's get into the interview. How long have you guys been together, by the way?
Over almost 4 years,
Yeah.
right? We just got married last November.
I saw that. Did you guys get married on 11/11?
Yeah.
You did. That's so
Yeah.
cute. Your wedding pictures were super duper cute. Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks.
thanks.
I also really liked your engagement video.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have any idea that he was going to propose?
Like kind of a feeling.
But you didn't know.
Yeah, I was like not feeling great, so I was like, oh, like I don't know if I want to go, and he was like, oh, it's okay. So then I was like, oh, maybe he's not.
Trying to play it cool.
Yeah, like super playing it cool. Like we didn't go.
So you had no idea based on how he was acting anyway.
Yeah, he acted like I couldn't tell he was like nervous or anything at all. He was more like smiley, but that was it.
Trying not to give it away.
Yeah.
Trying my hardest.
That's so cute. So have you guys always kind of been into exploring before you started putting your stuff out on YouTube? Like, how did that evolve?
Yes, for sure. I think the first place we had both been into exploring, obviously, way before we met. But the first place we explored together was, I believe, a water park, right?
Yeah.
In Arizona. So in Arizona, there was a water park called Big Surf. It's demolished now. But it was right by our house, and it was recently abandoned in the transition period of being demolished, and we were able to go check it out, and it's still like one of our favorite
Yeah, I think like
places ever, probably.
Yeah, top 3.
And we didn't film it. We had no cameras. We took pictures on our phones, but that was the first one we did together.
Wow. So how long ago was that?
Sometime in 2022 in the summer. I think. I don't know. It's all a blur now. Yeah.
Gotcha. So did you guys ever get into any exploring before you guys became a couple, like when you were younger or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I first got into it in high school. Honestly, me and my friends were just bored looking for stuff to do. We were probably 15 or 16 because only one of us had a driver's license. So he would go pick us all up. And I remember the very first one we went to was like an abandoned airplane graveyard out in the desert. And we had just heard like a rumor about it from, I don't even know who, someone at our school. And so we all snuck out of our house at like 2 a.m. and drove over there, and it was like super scary because it was at night, and I still don't really like exploring at night because it's scary.
Yeah.
But that was the first urbex, I guess you could call it. And there was 2 or 3 planes and the old like hangar. And we just walked around and explored and got really scared, but it was so fun. That made me fall in love with it for sure. For sure.
Yeah. What about you?
I think for me, the first ones that I've been to was like growing up, we'd always go camping and ride like quads out, and there would just be spots where people had mined in the past, like a long time ago, and there would just be like remains of buildings, a lot of random stuff like spoons and tools. So that was like, I think, how it started for me, or how I started getting interested in it. In high school, there's not a ton of abandoned stuff in Arizona, but I lived in Texas for a year, and there was stuff everywhere in Texas, so I got more into it there. Lots of houses and stuff, yeah.
Ooh. Wow, that's interesting. I'm shocked that there's not more stuff in Arizona because the element of it being deserted, you would think equals abandoned places kind of thing, but I guess that's not the case.
I feel like in Arizona, because everything's so new relatively, like compared to the East Coast, there's not a ton of old stuff. There's like little towns, but a lot of those towns are touristy attractions. They're not actually abandoned. Like they turned them into, tourist stuff.
Plus they demolish a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of stuff gets demolished.
Dang. That sucks. That has to be then the most boring place to live if you're into urban exploring.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like thinking back to like, I probably explored like maybe 10 places in Arizona.
Yeah, I can definitely like count on my hands.
They're all demolished now.
Yeah.
Like they're all gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. I think that now I've noticed around here, things are getting a little bit more kind of amped up in that element where I'm noticing things are going quicker, whereas they would just sit sometimes for like 10, 15, 20 years, So yeah, it's shocking. I mean, they must have a lot of money in Arizona just to steady be tearing stuff
I guess. A lot of like housing developments.
We're poor here in the South. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I feel like even if we had moved here years ago, there would be a lot more, especially in South Carolina. I feel like Columbia, there used to be so much, but now a lot of it is getting turned into apartments or whatever.
Yeah.
Like all that.
Yeah, especially like the asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really sad too because I feel like that was such a historic spot in general, but also obviously in the urbex community. So now that it's becoming apartments and all this other stuff, first I'm just like, how are people living there? Because are you guys unaware of what's been there before? Or like,
yeah, right.
I would not want to.
Yeah, no way. It's like either way, it's got to be so haunted, whether you believe in that or not, and I would just never be paying rent there, like, ever.
Yeah, exactly.
So what made you start a YouTube channel?
I don't really know if there was like one thing.
There's someone that I watch a lot, and we started watching him together, and
Josh?
Exploring with Josh. And I don't know, we were just like, we wanted to get more into it because there's so much more stuff over here. So we're like, we might as well just start documenting it.
Yeah, I mean, we spend half our time on YouTube watching other people do it, so we figured, why not do it ourselves?
Yeah. Well, and I think the thing that's good for you guys, and I feel like I don't see a lot of urbex couples in the community, so I do think that it's kind of like a little bit of a missing element. And when I see them, I get so excited. I'm like, oh my God, yes, two people who are in love that love doing urbex. There's like nothing better than that, you know?
Yeah, I definitely like part of it is like camera shy for
Yeah,
sure.
we're becoming more comfortable with that, but
Yeah. Also, I don't like showing my face really that much. I kind of prefer being behind the camera. Yeah, I
Behind the
guess.
lens.
And also, like, I know it's
Yeah.
like very unlikely, but like legal reasons, I don't really necessarely want to. On sketchier stuff, that's like very blatant trespassing. Like, I try not to show our faces, but I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm glad you brought that up because I noticed that the last and most recent video that you put
Oh,
up
yeah.
was at Ghost Town and you guys had a little encounter with the police. Do you want to tell me that story?
Yes, we did. Yes, what a bummer. Yeah, so that place had been on our bucket list for a long time, ever since we first saw pictures of it. And it was probably like, what, a 3 or 4 hour
like 4 hour drive.
4 hour drive from us. And my little brother was in town. It was actually right after our wedding. So we were like, let's go drive up there. Like, this place is sick. Like, none of us we'd been to a water park, but we never been to a theme park. And then add to the fact that it's in the mountains like that, like, absolutely insane. There's not really mountains like that here in Augusta. It's kind of flat. So yeah, we were really stoked. Done like some limited research on it. I tried to do research on most places because I've heard some people say there's security. Some people say, oh, I just walked in, it was fine. Some people say there's cameras. There's a lot of conflicting reports. And I couldn't really figure it out, like what the actual truth was. I tried messaging a few people, but they didn't get back to me before we went. So just like, fuck it. Let's just go and see what happens. And yeah, so we drove up there, and of course there's like no trespassing signs, whatever, like there is at a lot of spots. And I had looked on it on Google Earth, and there's a few different entrances we could do, but the easiest one was just to drive up and park, like in the neighborhood. Because the other way, you'd have to like hike
scale a mountain.
Pretty lengthy hike, like elevation gain wise. And we didn't really want to do that. Yeah. We just wanted to, because we already drove 4 hours, we just wanted to spend our time exploring. So we just parked in the neighborhood, hopped the fence, which apparently there's a hidden trail camera right there that we didn't even see at all, because we did look for cameras, but we all somehow missed the very first camera, I guess.
The giant trail camera.
So we hopped the fence, and we were up there, just exploring, like taking it all in. We got up there, we didn't see any cameras, we didn't hear anything. We actually ran into 2 other explorers there. And we had been there like maybe 30 minutes. And at that point, usually if you're there 30 minutes, in my head, I'm like, okay, like, it's not a bust. Like, no one's coming. It's not a big deal. We can take our time, I guess. And so we were all really relaxed, filming slow, checking out every single room, which in hindsight, I'm kind of pissed that we didn't go and try to get everything really quick. So we had got, like the first little area with some offices. There was like the workshop. I mean, you saw the video. So it's like the ski lift and the little
different random.
Yeah, random
like
little like
one of those like spinny rides.
Yeah, a little carousel thing or something. And we saw like all the arcade games, and me and my brother really wanted to climb the roller coaster, and we were like saving that for the end. Like, we're really excited to do that. And so we were exploring, me and my brother were exploring, I think it was like some sort of cafeteria, saloon, whatever, and Kara was out taking pictures of the skee ball stuff.
Skee ball things.
And, well, the cops came to you first, so maybe you should tell your
I just like heard a car pulling up, and I just turned and looked at it. It was like unmarked.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, like someone's just driving up here. I just totally didn't even occur to me that it could have been the cops.
Yeah.
And they were just like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm just taking pictures. Like, they had got out of the car at that point. I saw they were cops, and I was like, well, I'm obviously not going to run. That just makes things way worse. Like, plus my husband and his brother were there, so I was like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And they asked if anyone else was with me, and I was like, yeah, 2 people. They're inside there, and they were just telling me, like, don't move, don't go anywhere. And I was like, I'm just standing right here.
Did they point their gun at you?
No. They were, like, fairly chill. But yeah, then...
Me and my brother were, like, inside exploring. I don't know how we didn't hear the cars.
It was pretty quiet.
But we were inside, so I didn't know anything was going on. And I just, like, looking through doors, and this one goes out, so I, like, open it just to see where it goes. And I see 2 cop cars parked there. I'm like, fuck, like, we're fucked. And I went and told my brother, like, hey, the cops are here. And we just went outside and talked to them. They were super chill. They didn't give us a ticket or nothing. They just, they said they're up there a lot, like, which surprised us.
Multiple times a day.
Yeah, multiple times a day, which I don't understand. They, like, I guess the owner, like, watches the cameras, like, religiously, and as soon as she sees movement, she calls the cops, and they go up there, like, 3 times a day. Which at what point is, like if I was, like, a cop, I would be so
yeah, I would be
annoyed.
So annoyed.
Like, what the fuck?
Like just hire your own
anyone.
security.
Yeah.
That's...
Yeah.
I would be so annoyed.
Yeah, so we were just talking to them. The one dude was really young. He was like, I understand. Like, I would be out here too. Like, it's cool. And then he was like, I'm not going to give you a ticket, but it's not up to me. It's up to my sergeant or
whoever he was with.
Whoever the other guy was. But he was nice too. He was just like, yeah, y'all just get out of here, whatever. Like, don't come back and tell people that there's cameras. Like, if you make a video or whatever, tell them not to come here.
Yeah, I don't know if those other 2 guys that were up there, if they got caught too, or...
Yeah, I don't know, because we ran into 2 other explorers early on, and they, like, I don't know if you've been to that park, but there's, like, an upper level, like, higher up that leads to a whole nother area, and that's where they were, because, like, we saw them up there, and we were talking to them a little bit, and we probably talked to them, like, 20 minutes before the cops came. So I don't know if they, like, were able to sneak out. I don't know anything about them. Hopefully they got away, but I don't know.
Oh, shit. Y'all were like the bait, basically.
Yeah. For real. For real.
It'd be funny if they were like watching the whole encounter from far away and they were like, listen, just stay quiet until these people get arrested and then we'll leave.
Yeah.
That's what was like going on in my mind. They're like watching from above.
Yeah. I was hoping they would like comment. We told them our YouTube channel and everything, but I haven't heard anything from them. So I don't know. Maybe they'll listen.
So have y'all been laying low on footage and making videos and stuff since that encounter, or have you just been not exploring, or what's the story?
I have one that's still being edited. We've just been really busy with like life stuff, and it's been getting put on the back burner. But besides that one video, we haven't actually been exploring in a while.
Yeah, I've been having like some health issues, so that's the main reason. But like hopefully before it gets too hot, we can go out to a couple more places.
Yeah, because we still have a ton. Like, I'm sure you have a Google Earth spreadsheet or something like we do. Like, we have a ton of spots still that fit for sure. But yeah, hopefully soon put out some more videos. I don't want to like just put out one video and then like not post for a month. I'm trying to at least get a few like stockpiled so I can post somewhat consistently and not like one every 2 months.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Well, I'm always on YouTube, and obviously I'm subscribed to your channel, so I'm always waiting for that little like blue dot to come up next to y'all's name for a new video. And every time I get on and it's not there, I'm like, where did they go?
Soon, hopefully soon. Yeah. The
weather's really nice right now, so.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and you're right. You know, you guys have been in Georgia long enough to know that the window of time that you actually get like quote unquote spring weather is very small. We like hop from winter to summer almost instantly, which sucks for urban exploring because you're like either freezing or you're going to die from like a heat stroke. So yeah, you get like 4 good weeks in the year where you're like, this is perfect.
Yep.
Well, I hope that you're okay, and I hope that you guys get to go out and explore soon, because I know how it is to just be like probably itching for it a little bit.
Yeah, especially when it's so nice out. You're like, fuck, like it just go somewhere.
Yeah, we say this all the time about different stuff, like the weather. We're like, oh, this feels like when we were at this place last year.
Yeah, it feels like we're like on a road trip like we did last year or something. Yeah, totally.
That's like how you use it in your brain as a mile marker for everything. You're like, this is like that time we were at the abandoned asylum. And remember, this feels like the weather at the ghost town when we got busted by the cops.
Yep, 100%.
I will say, though, you guys are really, really lucky because those cops did seem genuinely very nice and understanding about what you guys were doing there. And I know that they appreciated that you guys didn't give them a problem or start running away, because I'm sure that happens more times than not. And they're probably like, fuck, please don't run. Like, it's the one thing.
They checked our bags also. I mean, I was like, what is someone going to steal from here?
Well, no, dude, I don't know if I told you this, but I was looking at the Facebook of the lady who owns it, who's like kind of crazy, by the way. I don't know if you've ever looked at her Facebook. Because I was trying to get like permission to go there because I really wanted to go back. And she had posted security cam footage of this dude wheeling out it was like a giant cowboy statue, like 7 or 8 feet. And she was like, if anyone knows this man, like he stole the like please contact the authorities.
That's so weird because they're not even doing anything with it. I mean, not that that's right, but like it's just I don't know why she's so anal about it.
Yeah,
I just don't understand.
She didn't respond.
Yeah, well,
I asked for permission.
Especially because, like, in the video, the cop, he said that, like, the park is basically closed because it's a safety hazard. No? Am I right about that? Or yeah. So it's like, why would she even care? Because they obviously can't do anything with it if it's a safety hazard being where it is, like, locationally speaking, you know, so it's like, who cares? Like you said.
Exactly. They're not doing anything with it. Like, at least let some people enjoy it instead of like no one can enjoy it. Like, there's not even anyone to sue if you get hurt, right? Like, the city? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had a property like that, or if I had ownership of it, I would at least be charging like $10 or $15, $20 a head. And I'm like, yeah, sure, y'all want to come up here? It's a safety hazard, but you want to come up here, sign a waiver, pay me $20 and go take pictures for 3 hours, be my guest. I'd at least be making money off of it.
Yeah, at least make some money off of it.
Yeah, we would pay $20.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially after we drove like 4 hours.
Yeah. And then, you know, it's like if you give people permission and you make them sign a waiver, she'd at least have everyone's information that's on the property, which is like less likely someone's going to be stealing if they've given you everything like that. So I don't know. I feel like people like that are just, they are using it as an excuse to be crazy over something, you know?
Yeah. I don't get it. Who knows?
That sucks, though, that it got kind of ruined and cut short for you guys, because I'm sure you could have spent a lot more time there than you did.
We'll be back one day.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll cut this part out of the podcast.
So the Asheville police aren't listening.
So I saw you did a tower. Did both of you guys do that?
No, I'm not a heights person.
She's scared of heights.
I don't want to know about it when he does it either.
That was me and my brother.
Oh, that's funny. She said she doesn't want to know about it. That's exactly like my partner. I love heights, and every time I'm like, oh my God, look at that water tower. I'd love to climb that. She's like, don't even talk to me about any of this in front of me. Like, don't mention it. Don't tell me when you're doing it. Don't talk about climbing. Don't even say the word climbing.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to know. It's so sketchy.
That's so true. It is a little bit too risky.
If you're on a ladder 2 feet above the ground, it's the same thing. 3 points of contact.
You are right.
It's all in your head.
You know, it's a different element when someone else is on the outside looking at what you're doing. So, of course, if she were there or had been watching you climb this huge tower, she would probably be like, okay, if you don't get down from there, I'm going to call the cops myself because I'm freaking out now.
I do not want to do that.
Had you done a lot of climbing before that, Trevor?
Not a ton. Whenever we go urbex, I always like to go on the roof. I feel like it's, I don't know, kind of like a video game. Like, you get to the top. That's the goal, the end mission. But I also just like seeing the perspective. Even, actually, now that I think about it, even in high school, when we would go to abandoned stuff, with my friends. We would also go to like elementary schools and churches and just like climb on the roof and like, hang out. And we wouldn't even like smoke weed or anything. We just like climb it to climb it and hang out up there. Like it's just fun. It's freeing, kind of. I don't really know how to describe it. Sounds like kind of cringy when I describe it, but you know what I mean.
No, I totally get it because I'm the same exact way. So I'm the first person to look for the tallest, most highest spot in a place. I'm like, oh, how do we get up there? And everyone's like, are you insane? I'm like, no, this is first off, best vantage point because you get to see everything.
Yeah.
And then I just have something about views, like being up high and being able to see everything and just feeling kind of more removed from Earth in a way. I don't know. It's like the DIY way to get high.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's just
without
like,
anything.
it's just cool being up there and watching, you know, cars go by or watching all the people. Like just a different perspective. Totally.
So what has both of your favorite explore been so far?
Favorite explore ever? I know we mentioned the water park that sadly we didn't film back in Arizona. That was probably my favorite just because like we walked up on all the slides and everything, and it was in such a like freshly abandoned state. Like there was still power in some of the buildings. And
Ooh, wow.
it was just so cool. Like they had all the boxes of t-shirts and supplies and you
Everything
know
in the
icy
office.
cups.
There was like old computers that were still on. And
It just felt like literally
Wow.
like you know like The Walking Dead or something. Like everyone just left and
it
this
was
all
like
ours.
it was like slightly overgrown too on the slides, so it was just really really cool looking, like really green for Arizona.
Yeah,
It was really cool.
Yeah. As far as recently, I would probably say the Ghost Town in the Sky, even though we got busted. Or maybe the Doomsday Mansion. That was really like surreal.
Yeah.
Like being in there, like in the living room, it's like open with the organ still there and everything.
Huge windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mine's either
Yeah.
Big Surf, the water park, or either the Doomsday Mansion or that like super mint house that we went to. I don't know what we called it.
Oh, with the old lady house?
The teacher's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was so
cool. It felt so
Yeah.
untouched. It was like scary.
Yeah, I was waiting for someone to pull in, but you could tell obviously it was abandoned, but
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I did that one recently, and I was so just obsessed as soon as I saw y'all's video, because I'd seen Abandoned Southeast. He has like a blog and he just posts pictures. I've never seen like someone do a video of it.
Yeah.
And y'all were the first video I ever saw of that place, and I was like, oh shit, this is the school teacher's house. I was like, yes, they did it. And when I was watching you guys go through the whole thing, because you know you can only see so much in photographs, so of course there's like missing elements of like a hallway or stairs or whatever. So to see you guys do a full walkthrough, you guys did great documenting it, and I love your pace, because a lot of people do like such quick pans of stuff that it's like you get to see it and that's great, but you really kind of took your time in each room and the way that you did the walkthrough, and I was like, this is my dream. This is exactly what I wanted someone to do in this specific house, because it's so just rare that you see it be that untouched. And like you said, you're just in this mental state of like, when is someone coming home, because this seems so eerie and like what happened.
Yeah, it's just weird because they were starting to box stuff up, but clearly that had not been touched in so long. So it's just like, what happened?
Yeah, what went wrong? Why did they leave so quick and no one's doing anything with it? It's just weird.
It's still so weird, and I still don't really know a lot about like the circumstances of why, because it's still almost literally the exact same way as when y'all went there. So to see a bando that is like that, you know, is just so extremely weird in a way.
Yeah, it was super weird, but no, it was just so cool. The like super old photo books from the 1800s. Like, oh my gosh, I just can't even believe those left those.
Yeah, why would you leave all the like history, especially for your family, like going back generations and generations? That would be the first thing I would take, or make sure that didn't get left behind, I guess. But if they all passed away, then
Yeah.
I don't know. No one left to care about it.
Yeah. Well, and it's crazy because it's such expensive old stuff. You would think that, like, someone would have prioritized doing something with it at least.
Yeah, and it was like some stuff was marked like as if they had done an estate sale or something, but
Yeah.
like little stickers on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all still there, so it's just so weird. I just don't know.
Yeah.
It's very weird. Very weird. Yeah, I don't blame you that that's one of your favorites because same here. And the Doomsday, honestly, because that house is just built so interestingly. You could tell it was like probably some sort of architect engineer type thing. I knew that right away just by walking into the house. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You guys went into the basement, right?
Yeah.
And there's two of them.
Two
There's like a
basements.
lower level basement that we didn't even know about. We were just exploring and like, wait, I think there's another staircase that goes even lower. We're like, what the fuck? Like, just crazy. Absolutely.
I think I saw now that they're gonna sell that place.
I heard that the owner was doing stuff with the house now. I don't know if that's confirmed or not.
Mm-hmm. So when I went out there for the first time, I think it was November last year, and there was a for sale sign on the property. And whenever I went to the real estate website that it was listed for, it said that the sale was pending. And then I went back out there maybe 2 times. And then the last time I went out there in January, the for sale sign was gone. So I think that pending sale probably went through. And I heard that a developer had bought it and they're going to like build a subdivision there or something annoying.
No.
Of course.
Breaks my heart.
That sucks. That really sucks. Damn. That's
It sucks. Especially because do y'all ever just envision like the bulldozer rolling up to the bando and just like crushing it with everything inside? And it's just like the worst.
Terrible. So terrible.
So sad. So sad. So what is next on your bucket list? You don't have to say if you're trying to like keep it low key, by the way, but what is like on your bucket list that you can share?
Like crazy bucket list would be like to travel to Italy or something, visit those like cities, exploring with Josh or something like that would be really sick. But like realistic bucket list, there's a nuclear power plant in Tennessee. You might have heard of it. I really want to go there. The Milledgeville State Hospital in Georgia, that's like huge.
Ooh.
That also has like security there. I really want to do that one, even though like it's been done by a lot of people. I've always wanted to do that one.
Yeah, we recently, I mean, I think the last place we tried to go to was like the pilot's house. And someone was moving into it or something, so we're bummed we missed that.
Yeah, that sucked.
Are you talking about the one in South Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there was like, the last I heard anyway, was that there was going to be an estate sale there, or there was an estate sale there. So maybe the activity of that or something was going on while y'all were trying that house. I don't know.
I feel like there was like bulldozers.
Yeah, there was
definitely
construction equipment. So something was going on.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Oh man, I hope they don't tear that down.
I don't think so.
No, it's like such a historic looking like house. I don't think.
And it's in really good condition too. Yeah. So I doubt it. But
yeah.
There's like a couple of houses. For me, I really love houses. There's a couple of houses that I want to go to. There's one like in New York and one in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Another one that I still need to find where it's at.
I hate having that problem.
Yeah.
Are y'all the kind of people who don't want to ask other people for stuff?
So I have a few people that I know like online. One of them, his YouTube is Unknown Explorers. Shout out him. Me and him usually like trade a lot of spots, or he'll go to one and let me know how it is, or I'll go to one and let him know how it is. But yeah, usually we usually don't really ask for spots. Like we usually just try to find them ourselves, like based on
because I feel like you see a lot in like comments, or for sure they're getting so many DMs, because we get a lot of DMs
yeah
too.
We do, we get a lot
like
of
asking
messages.
Where is this, and then we're like,
Yeah, like on Reddit or something, they're like, "Yo, can you like send me the address?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. I don't know you. I'm gonna send you the address, bro." Like,
So I feel like asking someone like they'd probably think the same thing we
yeah,
do. Oh no.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if there's any video that you watch of someone bigger, you
There's
can
clues.
usually
Yeah.
find it, or at least the area.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. I'm glad you guys are like I am because I'm in both ways the same as y'all, where you guys are like, I want to find it myself kind of thing. And then you're
Mhm.
also like, who the fuck is this in my DMs? Like, don't ask me for shit. Because that's exactly how I am. And then I have friends that are like, Courtney, you should be more nice to people. And I'm like, that's not being nice. That's just me saying to put in the same work that I put in. Like, go get on the
Yeah.
map and figure it out.
Also
Like, it's
just
not
like
that hard.
trying to protect it because I feel like a lot of people just go to vandalize or
Yeah,
destroy or have parties or just
yeah,
ruin it. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
not worth it.
yep,
Yeah, yeah. And it's kind of like I know some spots they're gonna find it anyway,
Yeah.
whether I tell them or not. So I just don't want to be the one that
Yeah.
they like find
Yeah.
it out through. I'm like, just ask someone else, and that might be, I guess, quote unquote, nicer than I am
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna do it. And I try to say that in almost every episode so people stop DMing me, but
Yeah.
it doesn't ever help.
yeah. I just stopped replying. Honestly, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not gonna. I
Mm-hmm.
still get messages. The one I get messages for the most is the Flintstone house, in Colombia,
Are you
and I'm like,
joking?
it's not hard to find. Like, it's
Yeah.
just Google it. Like, it's
Yeah, you
not
can just
hard.
Google it.
But I get
That
people
drives me
almost like
nuts.
every week, like, oh, where is this? Like, what city is this? Like, where's the address? I'm like, dude, come on.
I'm like one simple Google search of
Yeah,
Yeah.
like abandoned Flintstone mansion, South Carolina, like, and you'll probably find the address in 8 minutes or
Yeah.
less. Like you don't gotta ask anyone.
yep, yep.
Oh God, that would drive me more crazy than anything, especially if it's like that would be like somebody being like, "What's the address for a ghost town?" You're like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
"Really?
exactly. Like,
What?"
we all have Google. Like, don't use me for Google.
I'm like, at this point, just drive around and look for a big yellow roller coaster.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yep, yep.
Have you guys had any other kind of encounters with security or law enforcement outside of Ghost Town?
Security? No, not. I don't think we've ever had.
I think that was the only one.
Yeah, was there? There wasn't any at Big Surf, was there?
No, but because it was so fresh, I think we were really. There was cameras in the office and they were like blinking, so we were kind of really paranoid.
Yeah.
But we still spent time
Yeah. I
exploring
mean,
it and
we try like our best to obviously avoid like security or like police. So if it's really sketchy, we're not gonna do it. Or like my brother will go scope it out for us, and then we'll go. But no, we haven't had any other run-ins. We've seen a lot of homeless people or like scrappers, but we've never had any bad. Well, we went to an abandoned cinema. Remember that? And there was a lot of homeless people in there, and I didn't personally have a bad experience, but we were with other people, and they said that one of them was like super aggressive.
Ooh.
Like I don't
yeah,
remember the details really, but just that he was aggressive and to watch out. But the guy I talked to was
yeah, he
nice, and
was nice.
everyone we've ever ran into just like wants to know what we're doing, like, and don't film them, which is completely
Obviously,
valid.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
but
obviously.
besides that, I've never had any bad encounters or anything like that.
Yeah, me either.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. At least the one encounter you've had with police was like pretty decent and like relatively on the good side and not, some of the stuff you hear where they just have
Yeah.
like no remorse or no patience for urban explorers, especially. And I'm just like, dang, you just threw these people in jail like for
Yeah.
nothing.
I thought for
Yeah.
sure we were gonna get like a
Really?
ticket. I
I
was
would
like,
have been pissed.
we're
Like,
getting a ticket.
because in high school we got in trouble, but not even at like the abandoned spot. Like we explored it, and then we were like parked in the neighborhood. We were just sitting in the car. But since we were all like 15 and 16, uh, like the cops came because a neighbor called about us. They thought like I don't know, they didn't know what we were doing. We're just parked in the neighborhood at night. So the cops came. and we all got in trouble because we were young and it was out past curfew, so we all got like
Mm.
tickets for that, which is the stupidest thing ever.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Is that like a legitimate thing, like a legal curfew?
In Arizona, I don't know how it is over here, but in Arizona, if you're under 16 or 16 and under, you can't be out past midnight or something, and they're allowed to
Wow.
curfew. Like we had to go to like some stupid class and stuff.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
serious. Yeah, they don't give a shit about what you do around here at any age. Like you'll see like a damn 10-year-old walking the streets at 1 a.m. and you're like, what's going on here? Like, welcome to the South.
yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, well, I'm glad to know that you have something in the works, by the way, because I was kind of paranoid when I saw you haven't posted anything since Ghost Town. I was like, oh shit, they're probably like scared shitless out of their mind that everywhere they go now they're gonna have cop encounters, you know?
No, I have no problem talking to police. I feel like, I mean, when they see that you have a camera, they're like, clearly you're not here to vandalize or steal. Like, you just show them the pictures you took. Like, I mean, 9 times out of 10, I would hope they would be reasonable.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Yeah. I always try to like pack lightly. Like I always carry just like a fanny pack and I usually just have it around like my shoulder or something and I'll have my phone, you know? So it's like, even if I were stealing something, what could I possibly put it in? You know, like I don't have anything. I don't have a backpack or anything like that. So they generally understand really quickly, like you said, just based on like whatever visually is going on with you. So it's good that you guys aren't like, yeah, we rolled up with like 4 backpacks and we got 17 people with us. And, like, some people are hiding in the trees up there.
Yeah. Right.
I do wonder what happened to those other explorers that you ran into. Like, I wonder if they saw the cars or if do you think they left before you guys had
No,
the encounter?
they were, because the way the park is set up, like, unless they came up a different way that I didn't know about, but they would have had to come past us to leave. I remember talking to them before, and I don't think they even really knew what urbexing was. Like, there's like, like, I'm not even from here. My friend just told me about it, and we're checking it out. Because they were, like, asking us what we're filming for, and we're like, oh, we have an urbex channel. They're like, what's urbex? I'm like, you're doing it, dude.
You're like this right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
I always wonder what people do because it's like I get like the draw, obviously circumstantially there it might be a little different, you know, just like I'm sure people who aren't explorers wanted to go to Six Flags or did go to that Six Flags and stuff like that. But it's shocking to me still the amount of people when I'm like, oh yeah, I have an Urbex podcast. They're like, what's that? I'm like, well, I don't know if we can have a conversation or not. So, do you guys leave Georgia a lot to Urbex, or do you guys have like a lot of stuff planned for Georgia? You have a lot of pins on your map for around there.
Most of our pins are Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. We have a few in Tennessee and Florida, but we haven't been there yet for urbexing stuff. I mean, Georgia's so big, and South Carolina too, and Augusta's right in the middle of both of them, so we're usually in one of those 2 states.
Yeah. You guys actually live in a really good spot for urbexing because you're kind of like central to both ways. Like you said, you're in the middle. So it's like when you guys moved to Augusta, where you're like, this is perfect. We can get everywhere in a day.
I remember when we were like first got here and just driving around, we're like, oh, like there's an abandoned spot there. There's a spot. Like everywhere we drive. Crazy. Like half of downtown is like abandoned. It's like like bad, I guess, if you like don't like abandoned stuff. Like your half your city is abandoned, but it's great for us. So.
Yeah, that's true. Oh well, I guess I didn't put that into perspective because that skyscraper that you guys did, you were there for that or no? Because I know you don't do heights.
Oh,
she's like, fuck no, I did not go.
No, I think I would have gone inside, but I don't know if I would have gone.
A lot of the rooms are cool. As you go up higher, it's less gutted and more like office buildings and backroomy sort of stuff, which I think you would have liked. But and the penthouse is like really cool. But yeah, definitely like heights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big windows up there.
Tallest. I think it's the tallest one in Augusta. So.
Wow. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. And you camped out there, right? Did you sleep up there?
Yeah. Me and my buddy camped up there.
That looked so chill though, like just chilling in a hammock. Like
it was sick. It was really awesome. It was like super surreal. We like barricaded the door and stuff, so no one could come out. People came up and mess with us. But yeah, it was really cool.
Wow. Wow, that's really cool. Were you scared at all when you were up there, like about getting caught or anything?
About getting caught? No. I mean, we had already, or I had already explored it before, that day when we went up to camp. But it was literally the front door is open. It's unlocked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's easy. You're like, well, I don't mind if I do.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
Whose idea was it to kind of camp out up there?
Me and my buddy both, and Kara too watches Steve Wallace on YouTube. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He does like stealth camp and
Mm-mm.
stuff.
Mm.
So we just liked that idea, and me and my friend Zach had been up there before, and we were like, oh, it'd be sick to spend the night up here, like watch the sunrise in the morning, and we figured why not just do it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's so chill. Are you far from that skyscraper, or were you like, I'll just drive there, I'll sleep, and I'll come back home for breakfast kind of
Yeah, no,
situation?
I was back for breakfast. I had work in the morning. It was only like 10 minutes from our house, so
Oh, wow, that's so convenient. You're like,
yeah,
yeah, I urbex last night. I'm at work this morning.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, that is such a cool spot. And I've seen like a lot of people do it, but I've never
Hmm.
seen someone spend the night up there. So I thought that was actually really cool because I thought about the same thing and I was like, oh, waking up to the sunrise all the way up there would be so like the most
Yeah,
official thing. Like that would
yeah,
just
it was
cap it
awesome.
off for the urbex journey on that building, you know?
Yep. And
It's
even
been
like,
abandoned for a while, right? That used to
oh
be a
yeah,
hotel or apartments or something.
it got turned into apartments, and that yeah, it's
Oh,
been abandoned for a long time. But even spending the night, like during the night, you could still hear the city, obviously, which is new to us because we live in the suburbs, so it's
yeah.
quiet. So at
Yeah.
night, it was kind of nice, like background noise, sort of hearing all the cars and city and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Imagining what it would be like to live in an actual city, like a big city.
You're like, that's New York down below.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly.
That's what I would have been doing too. Do you have a genuine fear of like all heights, or are you just against a certain level?
I don't know. I used to not have a problem with heights at all, and a couple of years ago, all of a sudden it just would started making me like super dizzy. Randomly, even like on a second floor, if I'm looking down, I get dizzy. So I don't know,
Hmm.
which is weird because I grew up in like a 2-story house. So I don't know where it came from, but it is really annoying because yeah, I used to go climb stuff and
Hmm.
sit on roofs, and so it's
And
kind of
now you're
annoying that
like,
I'm
no.
I'm like missing out on that now, but yeah, I'm working on it. I'm
Exposure
working on it.
therapy.
Yeah, I'm trying to do exposure therapy.
That's the best way, honestly. That is the best
Yeah.
way. The tuberculosis hospital that has
Yep,
like
that's
the
the one.
many floors or whatever. I did see you in that video, so I was gonna
Mhm.
say, like, that goes up pretty high, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
had to
was
take
like
some breaks, but
seven or eight floors, I think, on the top.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and someone went out on the roof, right? I guess, did you not go out on the roof?
No, she was out.
I
You were
was
out
on the
there.
roof, but I
We were all
wasn't
out there.
like on the very top part of the roof, or I
She's
didn't
not
step
gonna like
outside of.
hang off the edge or like put her foot over or nothing, but you were
I'm
up
not
there.
getting close to the edge.
You're not going to be doing airbex anytime soon. So, what has been your most challenging explore, other than like obviously Ghost Town because it got ruined? But is there anything else that comes to mind?
I mean that tuberculosis
Hmm.
place was really sketchy. I don't know if you've been there.
Yeah.
It's like in the middle of a bunch of active buildings.
Hmm.
And there was like security driving around in golf carts and shit.
Hmm.
Um, and I've heard there's a different way in, but we didn't know where it was. So we just kind of like climbed in and found a board and went in that way. That was probably the sketchiest. Even when we were there, we were trying to be super
Not in
quiet.
the windows, and yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I remember back in high school, this was probably like just us being paranoid and freaking ourselves out. But there was an old place in Arizona, and it was a Greyhound racing track,
Hmm.
and um, it was out in the middle of the desert. And we had heard there was like homeless activity there, but we weren't sure. We were super young, and there was a group of us, and we kept hearing weird noises and sounds, and it was probably just like an animal or something, but we were so freaked out. We were like, walking like back to back, facing outwards, like making sure no one's gonna fuck with us. Like that was definitely like one of the more scary ones, but it was probably all just in our head. We were just freaked out.
Oh, that's actually smart though, and I never really thought about that tactic. So you can like see both sides of you or whatever.
Yep.
Like, because it's so easy to get sketched out, especially if you're in an abandoned place, and like
Yeah.
then every noise becomes something that it just isn't.
Yeah.
You're just over exaggerating everything. I was in a school recently, like most places have either open windows or no windows or doors are missing. So the wind can just come in and out of all the directions of the bando. And this
Yep.
door on both sides were like closing and opening and like making this really loud noise. And I was with one other person, and every time it happened, I was like, "Was that you?" And then she was like, "Was that you?" And we'd just be asking each other constantly. And then finally, she was like walking down the hallway, and she's like, "Oh shit, it's been the wind this whole time." I was like, "Dude, I
Yeah.
literally thought we were gonna get murdered."
We went to a school called the Weed School, and we
Oh, I
pulled up.
saw that.
It was super cool. That was like a lot better than I was expecting it to be. We pulled up, and there was like signs of homeless activity, but we didn't see anyone. And we were like trying to get in, like pulling on doors, but they were locked. And this one we like pulled on, and then there was just this dog like barking his head off at us on the other side, and you
Oh
could hear like
no.
someone kind of like yelling at the dog or something. We were like, oh yeah, we're not gonna go in there.
We ended up,
Um,
making our way back around, and the
Yeah.
guy was chill.
Yeah, he was super nice. We went back around, and the dog was like way smaller and not scary at all. But
It was like so friendly.
yeah, it was super friendly, wagging his tail.
I think we just scared it.
That's actually terrifying, though. I don't think I've ever opened the door to an abandoned place and like immediately encountered a dog
Yeah.
or anything. And I
Yeah.
would just be like, run away
Yeah.
now. That's crazy. At least it was, a chill person, and the dog had an owner.
Yeah.
Cool find. Very good find. I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever seen anyone do that at school before, honestly. So
Yeah, I hadn't seen
Yeah.
it on any videos. I know there's another school also here that's supposed to be similar to that that's on our list to hit.
yeah.
So hopefully it's in.
Might be the next place we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love schools too, because even though they're the same as far as being a school is concerned, you always find different stuff. Like some of them, the gym is fully intact, or the cafeteria,
Yeah.
or some cool, really cool element. So I just love it. It's always a surprise in a way.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Have you guys done a funeral home or anything before?
We went to one. We couldn't get in. We have some on our list, but they're all a bit of a drive,
Yeah.
like 2 hours.
Yeah.
We've been wanting to do one though.
Yeah, there's one really close to us that we've seen people have gone in,
to
but
before.
we couldn't find a way in. And there was also the new funeral home right
Mhm.
next door, and there was like a service or something going on, so there was a lot of people.
Yeah,
Mm,
it was like
that
too
sucks.
sketchy to try and
Yeah.
climb there
We'll
somehow.
we'll
or
probably
something.
try again though.
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah.
want to funeral home on the list.
Yeah. I have that on my list too, and I've never done one before, so I just feel like that would be the most interesting thing because of all the stuff that you can see in there, and everyone's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you want to go in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course, of course, I want to go in there. What do you mean?"
See all the embalming tables and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Yeah. I like the hospital. I think it was out like in Aiken or something. Did you guys do that hospital in
Yeah,
Aiken?
yeah, and that
Okay.
hospital's like completely like fucked.
Got it. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had you done a different hospital than that before, other than obviously like the tuberculosis one?
Yeah, actually, the first hospital we did, the Bad Debt Hospital, you probably heard of it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That one was sick.
We
Like,
need to go refilm that because
what?
I don't know. There was just so much stuff that we missed. I think we only had
She's like,
one-
your video sucks.
We only had one like GoPro at the time, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now we have two, so it's makes it a little easier. But yeah, it was just full of everything, like
That-
paperwork, tools, like, everything was there. It was really cool.
That
Wow.
hospital is definitely my favorite because, yeah, they had all like, the crazy operating lights that you could
Like the
pull
big
down,
ones.
the chairs, and yeah, the paperwork is like
Yeah, there was
a
still.
library like overflowing of all this personal
Yeah,
information,
it was,
medical
Holy
records,
crap.
we
like
found
just
like social
left.
security cards and
Yeah, it was. I don't
insane,
know
Whoa.
crazy
how.
personal
I don't know how
information.
it wasn't destroyed or
Yeah.
like properly disposed of.
Although I feel like now after the storm, it's probably so
Yeah,
bad on the inside because
it was already
it was
gross.
like mushy on the floor because of all the paper that got wet.
Yep.
So it's probably really bad. I wonder if the roof is still even.
Yeah, it could be collapsed. I don't even know. It's probably not in good
Wow.
condition.
Yeah.
But that
How long
hospital,
had it been abandoned before you guys got to go out there?
at least 10
10
years,
years,
I
yeah.
think. It was like
Whoa.
the early 2000s that it went bankrupt or
Mid
yeah, mid 2000s. I don't
yeah.
know. It definitely been a
2010s,
while.
something like
Like
that.
there was holes, in the roof getting in, but that was what was weird about it was it was really decayed, but there's all the stuff was still there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, it's not often you get to go into a hospital and see like the lights and all
Yep.
of that stuff. Usually they're pretty gutted, and you're just like, well, I mean,
Yeah.
I got to do it. I got to explore it, I guess, but there was nothing here.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Sometimes in those cases, the outside footage and pictures are like more worth it than what you see on the inside because it's just
Yeah.
like that repetitive like hospital room over and over again. And
Mm-hmm.
then you have like the
Yeah.
occasional wing for kids or whatever. And you're like, okay, well, there's 3 rooms that are different from the other 87. So there you go.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
this
And
one was set up like it could have still been active if obviously if it wasn't like a mess,
yeah.
Okay.
but
Yeah.
everything's still there.
And we weren't
Wow.
expecting, like, when we pulled up, it wasn't like your typical hospital, that's like big, 2 or 3 stories, whatever. It's all one story. It looked very small because you couldn't only see part of it from the street.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're like, is this it? And like, it says hospital and emergency on it, so I guess it's it. But then when we went in, like, it was
So much bigger
way better
than
than it looked
yeah.
on the outside.
Wow. Another surprise.
Yes. Yes.
Those are always the best. I think that's why I like houses a lot like you do because I'm just like, you never know what you're going to get in a house.
Yeah.
You could walk in, it could
Dude.
be gutted or empty. You could find something like the teacher's house that's totally
Yeah.
mint, or you can. Didn't y'all do a hoarder's house too at
I
some
was
point?
just
Yeah.
gonna I was just
Yeah.
gonna bring that up. Me and my brother, when we did that tower climb, we just drove by that house and we saw it on the side of the road. So we
Oh,
came
wow.
back and got Kara and went and explored it, and it was sick. Like
Yeah,
there's
it
so
was
much cool
really
stuff
cool.
in there. Like would never
Yeah.
have expected, or I'm sure no one that I know of has done it because we just saw it from driving
Yeah.
by. So it didn't
Yeah,
look like
I don't
anyone
think
had been
anyone's
in.
ever done that house before. And like you guys said, there's spots out there that everyone has done or something, so it's pretty rare that you see a few spots that you're just like, "Oh,
Yep.
wow, I've never seen any of this before." So that was cool. And that's always honestly the best finds around here is when you're just driving somewhere else randomly and then you're like, "Wait,
Yeah.
there's one. There's a
Exactly.
bando." That could
Yeah.
probably be easy to get into on a random Monday morning or something. So
Yep.
yeah, that's how you find them around here, especially the ones that people haven't done, because those are like your little local gems, basically,
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
only you get to know about. So, yeah,
Yep.
good job on that one. I was like, "Ooh, a hoarder's house," because
Yes.
under normal circumstances, you're like, "Ugh," but when it's abandoned, you're like, "Ooh, I wanna go in there and see all
Yep.
the
Yeah.
100,000
Everything
things."
Go through it
crazy.
all.
Yeah.
Read every document you can find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, how are you guys about houses and stuff? Do you guys like to plunder, like, through stuff, or are you more like, "Let's not touch everything," or
I love looking through everything. I want to find like the pictures. I want to find like a grocery list, like proof that there was life there. Like I don't know.
Mhm.
It's I don't know. I just want more of like the story. When it's a house, it feels so much more like personal and real than
Mhm.
some crazy asylum, which I still love. I still love going to those huge crazy places, but I don't know. Just to me, it's more. I don't know. It just feels more personal because
Mhm.
yeah,
No, I
Yeah.
get it. I'm like that too. It's like more of an intimate experience because
yeah,
then you get to know, like, I don't know, then the house becomes more about the people or whatever
yeah,
story you even made up in your mind, and then not so much about like the abandoned house or whatever.
yeah,
Whereas like an asylum just stays an asylum, because that's what it is. So yeah, I totally get it. I'm the same way. I love a good house. I'm like, I wish every house was like the Doomsday house, where there was just stuff everywhere. I'm like, there's a million books here. I feel like I'm in a library. I feel like I get to go through like family documents.
Yeah.
I feel like when we go to a spot, I like to go and look at every room and get the layout and see everything that's there. And she's still in the first room, like digging through stuff, finding all the cool shit.
Yeah, like there's some crazy stuff that people have. I mean, if someone went through our house, like we've got some weird stuff.
Yeah,
so
for
it's like, it's just interesting to see. It's, I don't know, you just learn about whoever used to live there. It's just fun.
That works out for you though, Trevor, doesn't it? That she's kind of like stuck in the one room as soon as you enter, and you're like, all right, well, I'll see you in 10 minutes after I've checked everything and done some stuff.
It's so nice, like, that she's into it. Like, one, just because, like, we can hang out more and, like, do something we love to do together. But two, like, she films all the B-roll usually, so I can just do, like,
walk through
my POV stuff, and she'll get all the B-roll, and I don't have to, like, worry about having two cameras. And it's just nice, like,
That's nice.
that we can, you know, like, collaborate together on that, and it makes the editing process a lot easier, too.
Yeah. Did you guys know anything about like filming and doing any of that before you started your YouTube channel?
I knew a little bit about editing just from like old high school stuff. Filming, not as much. She knows more about filming than I do. But I just knew
also
editing.
from like high school though, I took a couple like classes. I think every year I took a class in like film and.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of like your passion?
I used to be really into editing. Like when I was younger, that's what I wanted to do. Was be like a film editor. But no, it's just like a hobby for us, really.
I was definitely more passionate about it like in high school, but
yeah. I've definitely had a lot of fun filming, and the editing process can suck at times, but it can also be really fun and rewarding, and learning, you know, new stuff. It just helps be another creative outlet, I guess, for us.
Totally. Well, and it's neat that you guys don't just explore together, but that's like part of what you do together too. So you actually get to like have this little thing that, you know, is both of yours, and it's not just one of you doing more than the other. So yeah, that's cool. I'm sure it's helped having two GoPros, right? Because I'm sure one of you each wears one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, immensely helped.
Yeah.
It's so annoying having to like take it off and
we do
film
like
something and put it back on.
the walkthrough first with the head mount, and then we'd have to go back and film B-roll on that one. But now having
so much easier.
Just makes it so much smoother.
Yeah, it flows a lot better.
I would have never known. Have you put up a lot of videos like with just the one camera? Is that like most of your videos, or?
No,
I think we just did one or two, and we were like,
yeah, just one or
like
two.
it's kind of hard.
That's funny, because I was gonna say I would have never noticed that before, but obviously that's why, because most of them are not that way. Yeah. Well, you guys do a really good job, I will say, and it's not very often that, like, you know, because like you guys said, you're on the like smaller end of an audience or whatever, and I don't even really pay attention to that. To me, it's always like who's doing it differently, because you see so many try to be the proper people or big banks or whatever, you know, and it's like I love them and I love their content, but after a while when there's 17 people doing it the exact same way, I'm like, please help me. Like I need something different.
20 different angles.
So I always appreciated that about your channel, because obviously you guys felt like close to home because you guys do a lot of things that are nearby to me, but it was also just like the different take on it. You know, you make it feel like very organic, and I just love that so much. I'm all about like the authentic explore and having the like true experience. So when I saw your content after I started like scrolling through it, I was like, oh my God, I love these people. Like instantly I want to find them. And then I was like Googling like who's Cloverfrog on YouTube, you know, and like untraceable. So I'm like, oh my God, it's the one channel I'm never gonna find these like people who owns this. Like, do I just straight up be obnoxious in the comments on a video like, I want you on my podcast? Like, please.
Yeah, that would have worked too.
Yeah,
it is true, but I'm glad it worked out the way it did, because I feel like that was just more like meant to be, and you know, that's obviously how I know about you guys. So it's just it came full circle kind of thing for me.
No, thank you very much. We try to keep it, you know, as authentic and real feeling as possible. Because it is kind of getting oversaturated with all of the big urbexers, I guess you could say. But yeah, try to put our own little spin on it. And yeah, it's crazy that I even found got sent your Instagram post.
I know.
Like,
Well,
what are
we
the
both
odds of
have a
that?
small following, you know, so I was like posting it like this is a total shot in the dark. Like, there's no way out of my small following that like they're even going to know who Cloverfrog is or that they're going to know how to get in touch with him because it's impossible to get in touch with. Like, I couldn't find anything, no name, no nothing. And so I was like, I can't look this person up on Facebook. I can't look them up on Google. I'm like, this is the only thing like I have. This is my cry for help. So whenever you like sent me a friend request and I saw your like link in your bio and it was like YouTube/Cloverfrog, I was like, oh, this is happening. Like, I was so excited. And then you're like, hey, it's us. It's me and my wife. I'm like, it's a couple. This is the best. So thank you for agreeing to be on here because I feel like the stars
Yeah,
Yeah,
aligned.
thank you
this
so
is
much.
awesome. This is
Yeah,
such a cool
experience.
Yeah, we've never.
Well,
been on
I'm
a
glad to
podcasting
say that I'm
before,
your
so.
first one because when you guys blow up, I'll take full credit. I'm gonna be like, they were here first. You heard it here first.
Right.
Okay, so I want you guys to give me, I don't know if you want to do it separately or if you have like a conjoined song you agreed on, but if you want to give me an explorer's track, which is just like a song that's important to your urbex journey.
Yeah.
So like during the explore, we aren't listening to music, but on the drive, obviously.
Yeah, on the road trips, I mean, we have a pretty vast music taste, but like we're thinking like usually we're listening to like some Midwest emo, like modern baseball or
Nice.
something like that. When we're driving, just
Yeah.
good vibes when you're
Very
driving.
good. Very good driving vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know how you guys were going to map that out because there's two of you. So I was like, watch them be like, so we're going to do our wedding song. And
Yeah.
which I wouldn't have minded because after seeing the proposal video and then like your wedding pictures, I was like, listen, these two at this point can just take over the podcast and just be cute together because I'm in love with them. And I just like, I got the best vibes off your pictures too, like seeing you two officially, because obviously you don't in your videos because one of you is generally behind the lens. So to see you like in picture form, which was the first time I really did, I can just tell y'all are like actually in love with each other and in a happy marriage and like just the cutest little couple and y'all urbex together. So I was just really, really happy. And y'all are like the cutest little couple. So
Thank you.
highly recommend more FaceTime on your YouTube channel because there's really no excuse. People would be so inspired, I think, especially if they have a partner they can urbex with. They're gonna be like, honey, we're doing this now. We're gonna be Cloverfrog.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right. Maybe
start
one day.
More couple urbex.
Yeah, we'll
You
see.
should. You should. How did you guys come up with your handle, by the way? Does that have like a meaning to you or what's
I was wondering if you were gonna ask about that. I feel like one day
we were just like thinking random words that we like or just random words.
Yeah, we were just like spitballing random like stuff that came into our head, and I
think we were actually thinking of the name for something else.
Well, I think she was gonna do some sort of coffee business, and we were trying to think of like potential names for like a coffee truck or something. And then I remember this was at our old house, and instead of grass, we had clover as our backyard. And so we were like thinking of that, and I don't know how we settled on Cloverfrog, but
I think we had the words like separate.
Yeah.
And like in a list of words.
Yeah.
And then we just like.
I don't know if it was
we all just started mashing up words. You're like, let's mash up all the words on the list and see.
Yeah, I don't know who mashed it up, but we were both like, oh, that sounds like kind of sick actually. And we just ran with it.
Yeah, I like it. And mad props on like somehow being untraceable still because I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I don't know how to find them. Like,
we're trying to stay as anonymous as possible for sure.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it. But I will say for content's sake, you guys would make a very good, more FaceTime urbex couple.
Yeah.
And maybe you should get behind the lens some too and record him doing some urbex, like roles reverse kind of situation.
Yeah, maybe as we get like more comfortable with it, just because we're still so new to it.
Yeah,
maybe as we get more comfortable, we'll feel more comfortable like talking to the camera instead of just each other. Or...
Yeah, it still feels weird like hey, what's up, guys? Like, that feels like
That's
so
true.
fake. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I never really put that into perspective. I guess that they're just kind of like sitting there like, hey, everyone, like,
yeah.
AKA no one. You know, like,
Especially like if I was by myself, maybe it would be different. Or if you were by yourself doing that, be different. But we're both there. It feels like weird not to be
Yeah.
talking to each other, but talking to camera. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some middle ground we could find.
maybe what you should do is do it exactly how you're doing it for the Explorer, but then have like an end segment where it's y'all like this, but y'all are just like talking to each other about the Explorer and do it more like,
Yeah.
you know, like combine like vlogging with
Mhm.
exploring somehow or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That's an
Yeah,
idea. Because y'all look so adorable just sitting here, and then you have the frogs behind you, so it's like
Yeah, we do.
Cloverfrog.
We do have the
It's
frog.
already all branded. You're only allowed to sit there in front of that blanket for all your videos.
That's funny.
Oh, so funny. Well, I do appreciate you guys for coming on here. I know that, you know, obviously you guys were probably like, what the fuck is happening and who is this person?
No,
No,
it was so
I was
cool. We were so
excited.
like hyped. We were like, oh my god.
Like this is we never expected obviously the channel to like really come to anything. It's just more of like a personal sort of thing we're doing and like fun. But like yeah, just the fact that we got this opportunity is super cool. Like we were definitely excited
Yeah.
when you first reached out.
Okay, cool. I'm glad. And yeah, thank whoever like
Yep.
connected us because I didn't even think it was gonna work. So when you were like, hey, here I am, I was like, oh, it worked. Who in my 300 followers knows this person? So I guess that helps probably that we're kind of in like the same neck of the woods because I'm sure that's
Yeah.
probably why. So yeah, thank
Definitely.
that person for me. And you
Definitely
know,
will do.
if they're an explorer and they ever want to be on a podcast, send them my way.
Okay, I'll let them know.
Yeah.
I'll let them know.
Yeah. The door's always open. Okay.
Thank you
no
so
problem.
much.
Thank you so much.
This
It
was
was really
fun.
cool.
Yeah, no problem. You guys are like the sweetest. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that we found each other. And obviously,
Yeah.
if you guys are like ever in South Carolina and you like need anything, you want to meet up, you want a
Okay, for
spot,
sure.
like just
What
hit
part
me
of
up.
South Carolina are you in?
I'm in Columbia.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
damn, nice.
In
Okay.
Columbia. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So if you
Okay.
guys are in the area, just let me know.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
definitely link up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Sure, we'll
that
be
would be
back
fun.
then.
Sounds good.
I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. Cloverfrog is one of those rare finds as creators and as people, and it was just such a joy to get a peek into their world, both as explorers and as a couple. It's funny how the Urbex community leaves these little breadcrumbs for each other sometimes, whether it's a sticker, a tag, or in this case, a chalkboard in an abandoned kitchen that led to a brand new connection and this amazing conversation. So huge thanks to Cloverfrog for joining me, and again, go show them some love on YouTube at Cloverfrog and over on Instagram at Cloverfrog_. And if you ever spot a cool handle scribbled in the wild in the bando, maybe it's the start of a next episode. With that said, I wanted to do my own PSA on here for everyone who's listening. If you guys don't mind, in the comments or on Instagram or however you prefer to get in touch with me, if you have a favorite explorer or you are one yourself that wants to be on the podcast, or you know someone who does, or like I said, you have a favorite explorer that you would like to see on the podcast, please feel free to reach out to me and send me that info. Send me their handle. Send me your handle, however it is. Anyway, I am going to sign off for this week. I will be back next week, as always. Until then, keep exploring the allure in the abandoned, the beauty of decay, and the echoes of elsewhere.